Hey, it's July 22nd. Happy Thursday to you. This is Daily Cards on ClaibsOnline.com, presented by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, the Cardinals win last night in extra innings by a final score of 3-2. Quite a bit, though, to get to in a very long game that was very low scoring.
Yeah, it was a grinder, not just for the players, but for the fans as well. It was a tough one to get through. For Cardinal fans, a good payoff at the end. In fact, Cub fans thought they were going to get the payoff. So I guess if you like distance running like you do, that was a marathoner's delight, but not a sprinter's delight at all.
No, it took a while to get there, but you know what, we have talked many times before we took this live when we were just doing a recorded podcast every day. I started it, and then it took you a while to get on board with the fact that Adam Wainwright is the ace of this team, the de facto ace of this team, especially once Jack Flaherty went down, and once again last night came through with another ace-like performance, going out there and pitching a really, really good game against the Cubs.
You know, it's funny the way the game has changed. For a long time now, you hear me talking about the 3 true outcome is wrong for the game, and other people have talked about it as well. And, you know, putting the ball in play. And I want to get to O'Neill and Bader here in a couple of minutes. But with all the gas that's being thrown by everybody all over Major League Baseball, 2 guys that can barely crack 90, both twirled gems last night. It was a delight watching those 2 professional starting pitchers work. It really was.
Yeah, I have a hatred for Kyle Hendricks that, and it seems like every time I've gone to a Cubs Cardinal game the last couple years, Kyle Hendricks is always on the mound against the Cardinals, but they finally were able to crack through last night, and they had the lead. The Cardinals had the lead when Hendricks finally was taken out, or I shouldn't say taken out. They were chipping away at that. They didn't get the lead until they made it into the bullpen. And just up and down that lineup, even though it was 3 runs scored in the game, this is something I think we are slowly starting to see, and that is a longer lineup that is able to produce top to bottom, 1 through 8. It almost seems, with you're seeing Goldschmidt right now at a 16-game hitting streak. You saw Bader have the best game of his season so far, and everything in between. It seems like things are finally starting to trend the right way. You just hope that it's to a point where they're not so far back that it's going to end up biting them in the end.
I think we've seen over the last few months that you're the cup half full guy. I'm the cup half empty. I'm not saying we're starting to see the trend. I'm going to say the needle is trying to bounce up a little bit, trying to. I'm going to reserve judgment. I still think pitching and defense has to be the way this team wins. And I hope over the next 2 months of the regular season that the offense does catch up, because I see some things that you're seeing. I might as well get into that topic I wanted to talk about. I have talked at length, and I will continue to do so, how thrilled I have been at Tyler O'Neill and his ability to change who he was as a hitter. He made the big leagues hitting a certain way, and now he's gone to the next level by changing who he is. That's really hard to do, whether you're talking about sports or life. You know, people can change, but they rarely do. And athletes are the same way. And now I'm starting to see, has Harrison Bader looked at Tyler O'Neill and said, if he can do it, I can do this too. I'm very, very encouraged by Bader. Every time I see one of those 2 guys take one up the middle or intentionally slap it to right field, actually with those 2, they're driving it to right field. I'm very encouraged that the Cardinals, that there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel looking to the future because of the way those 2 have come along. I'm convinced that's who O'Neill is now, and I'm hoping I start to feel that way about Bader as well.
I've enjoyed the way that Bader has played the game this season when he's been healthy. When he first came back after missing the first month of the season, I thought we saw a different approach to the plate than what we have seen in years past. And I think we've seen that same thing since he's come back from the rib injury. So much so that that Bally Sports even had a graphic up on the screen last night about the swing and miss rate and the balls in play rate that Bader has had this year. He is missing less, and he is making the defense do more. And you know what? Last night, we saw, I should say, on Tuesday, he stretched a single into a double that only Harrison Bader could probably do. And then last night, he tried to do it again and got thrown out at second. But you're seeing very aggressive play by him I don't think that Harrison Bader is a guy.
That was a dumb play.
But I don't think Harrison Bader's the type of guy that's going to look at that and go, I shouldn't do that next time. I think he's going to continue to make those plays.
Push.
Yes. Yeah. If he makes, you know what, if he tries to do that 10 times and it's a dumb decision 3 of those times, he's going to keep doing it. He's still going to do it those 7 other times.
Well, pitching, speed, and defense, again, I'm convinced that's how this team has to win until they prove that the offense can be better than it has been. And it's funny when you look at this series, the Cubs made errors in game 1 and it cost them. The Cardinals made errors in game 2 and it cost them. The Cubs' bad base running last night, mental error, cost them. In addition to the bad base running, they had 3 balls hit over outfielders' heads. I don't know if all 3 could have been caught, but I thought it was alarming that 3 balls the outfielder gave up on him. And I think those had an impact on the final outcome of the game.
Yeah, so they get the win, though, 3-2 in that. By the way, something we didn't mention, we're talking about the heads-up play or the good play by Bader. One thing that's going to go, I think, unnoticed, unmentioned, is the heads-up play by Edmundo Sosa in the 10th inning to turn. I wish I had the number in front of me. I wish I had the exact play as it was written down in the scorecard in front of me for the double play.
What was it? 6-3,
Edmundo Sosa
5. No, 6-2, 5-2, and then I lost it. Sorry.
I know. You see, and the thing is, I know I have it. I know I saw it yesterday. I know I had it somewhere yesterday, and I believe I thought it was Katie Wu that posted what it was, and I don't think I have it, and it's upsetting that I don't have it just sitting here right in front of me. I should have put it in the show notes for today.
It started out 6-2, 5-2. I can't remember who caught the next one. Anyway, but yeah.
I have it here. I found it. Katie Wu tweeted it out from The Athletic. It was 6-2, 5-2, 6-3.
6-3.
So Edmundo Sosa went from second base all the way down to the third base line to make that happen. And when you see that, when you hear that number that I read to you, and then you see the play, because I saw her tweet and then I saw the play, they did not match up in my brain. The way that I envisioned that play going was not the way that it ended up playing out when you see it.
And let me tell you this, in George Kissel's book, The Cardinal Way, that is instructional for the Cardinals from the very day they sign all the way to the big leagues, there is not one play drawn up that way in the book. Not one.
TJ McFarland will take it, though. He gets his first victory as a Cardinal yesterday, getting out of that jam, and it boiled down to just really bad base running by Anthony Rizzo. That's what caused it to begin with. It was more terrible base running than it was a heads-up play, but still a heads-up play nonetheless. The finale of the 4-game series is tonight, 6:15 start time, an hour earlier than the other 3 games have been. The birthday boy, KK, he is on the mound today, 33 years old. I imagine his family is still in St. Louis to watch him pitch again for the second time at Busch Stadium, and he will be on the mound taking on the Cubs today. We don't have the lineups yet. I'm interested to see if Chris Bryant is in the lineup today. He was unavailable and was not used in yesterday's 10-inning game.
Yeah, something's wrong with his right hamstring, and we'll see how that goes.
Either something's wrong, or they don't want him to mess it up anymore, and they're keeping him in a glass box until the trade deadline.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. That if it's a little touchy, hey, we don't want you to hurt this because we need to trade you. I don't know if that fools anybody. Even if you're picking up a car for the short term, you don't want a bad catalytic converter, or in his case, I guess, some sort of a bad wheel. They're having to walk a tightrope in that game. You want to play enough to show that he can play to be able to deal him, but you don't want to play him so much that he gets hurt, then you can't deal him. So yeah, the Cubs are in a tough spot there. For the Cardinals lineup, my only question is, does anyone need a break? It is really hot. It is really humid. Does anyone need a break tonight? And that'd be the only way I think you'd change the lineup much. Bader is so hot. You got Bader, DeYoung, Edman. Those guys could kind of flip-flop around. I could see Edman dropping down to 8th and sliding Bader up. But that stuff's almost irrelevant. I think the personnel's the same unless somebody needs a day off.
And that could be the case. It's Adbert Alzolay who is on the mound for the Chicago Cubs, 4-9 this season with a 4.59 ERA.
He pitched well against the Cardinals previously. The word I think for this game 4 of the series, the word for both teams is gain. The Cubs are trying to gain a split, and the Cardinals are trying to gain momentum. Had they won Tuesday night, I think that momentum would be rolling. So it started to backslide on them. They stopped it yesterday. Can they get momentum going? They need tonight not to take 3 out of 4 from the Cubs. Who cares? They got to get momentum because they've got about 40 more games to win in 2 months.
Before we get to Royal Banks, Rammer, what is today's hat?
Today, it's one of my top 2 or 3 hats that I have. It is, wait a minute, there we go. Kirk's Fly Shop, Estes Park, Colorado. Fitted cap, fly on the back. It's my fishing cap. It's one of my all-time favorites.
And Rammer, today mine is my helmet from last night's game, the Nacho helmet that has been cleaned out. Well, and I cleaned it out. Yeah, no, I took a sponge to it. And cleaned it out last night. Ford Plaza, you can not only get helmet nachos, you can also get ice cream in a helmet. So I was at the game last night with Hudson. So I walked away with the nachos. He walked away with the ice cream, and we were both happy. I will say this: this is the 4th helmet that I have collected at a ballpark this year that was filled with food. The Cardinals are the first team, the first organization that put a paper liner inside of it for much easier cleaning. It was so nice to just, to be able to throw that away and not have a huge mess of just cheese and meat and everything else to clean up inside the helmet. So much nicer than what I have gotten from the Grizzlies, the Rockies, and the White Sox already this year.
Well, that's lovely to know. Cleanliness. Well done, Cardinal staff.
They want you to wear these helmets out of the ballpark after you enjoy a nice amount of nachos out of said helmets.
Well done. You sent me the picture of the nacho, the nachos in the helmet. It looked in fact, their nachos are very, very good.
I will tell you this too. So if you are planning on going to a game, I know they're not going to be back again till next weekend. But if you download the Ballpark app, if you have that, if you don't have it by now, download the Ballpark app. It has come in handy for all of the different stadiums that I've been to this year. If there is a certain food item, and that was the thing, yesterday at Ford Plaza, they do not have the ice cream listed on the menu, but I saw on the Ballpark app, it said ice cream was there. So I walked up there and I was like, yeah, I'll take the helmet nachos. Do you have ice cream here? And they said, yeah, we do. And I knew that because of the Ballpark app. It wasn't listed on the menu, but the Ballpark app will tell you what food you want and what section the certain foods are in. Now that all of the stadium is wide open, It's very, very beneficial, and it works too at every single ballpark in Major League Baseball.
Beautiful.
Every page looks different, but it will help you find out what you need to find out at each and every stadium. Rammer, a quick word from our friends at Royal Banks before we wrap things up today.
Royal Bank's always trying to help you achieve your financial goals, whether it's simply a brand new checking account that works for you or a mortgage or a refi. Don't forget about the introductory offer for new refi customers, our home equity credit line customers, I should say. If you're looking for a home equity credit line, Royal Banks and the great bankers there will make sure that they get you on that path to help all the work that you put into your house come back and work for you. Give them a call, 314-212-1500, or go online to royalbanksofmo.com. Royal Banks, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, the Royal Banks of Missouri and Mungenast St. Louis Acura, as we bring you daily cards each and every day right here on ClaibsOnline.com. For Bob Ramsey, I'm Joe Roderick. We will be back again tomorrow.
St. Louis Acura has an unbeatable selection of new cars, like the new TLX with $2,500 in loyalty conquest offers and 0.9% financing for up to 60 months. We have all new 22 MDXs with 1.9% financing for up to 60 months, or get a great deal on a new lease. You can get the 21 Acura ILX as low as $239 per month for 36 months, or the new 21 Acura RDX for as little as $399 per month for 36 months. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.